Hey everyone, it's Alyssa here.
And Brad.
And today we are tag teaming to bring you this month's missions update. En este mes queremos hablar de Mexico.
¿Hablamos en español?
Okay, let's just stick to English. Anyways, this past month was exciting as I was able to travel with the team to the Copper Canyon.
And I was able to travel to Ensenada with a team from Town Center. And then later, Alyssa and the others met up with us.
Yeah, exciting things are happening in Mexico. This year, our time in the canyon was jam-packed. We were able to spend time with the children, many of whom you sponsor. Pastor Marty helped to teach the local leaders on the ground, and then we were able to spend a night encouraging those who work at the boarding school or serve in these Christian communities. These workers sacrifice so much every single day to minister to the people of the canyon. For me, a highlight of this trip was recognizing the impact of Cocaibo and how it has become a hub for so many. Where once one lone building stood, now there are many. In addition, workers who started with jobs at the boarding school have now moved on to plant and pastor churches in other nearby communities. This is Sandra. She used to be the director of the boarding school and now pastors a nearby church in Nabochique. And by nearby, I mean a 2-hour hike away. Every Sunday, she hikes to this village where the people gather for a Sunday service. In the past, Nabochique was a village of almost constant violence. Beatings and drunkenness were prevalent, and there were many reported suicides. You've heard us share about this before, but about a year ago, the very last person in Nabochique became a Christian. And now, like us, they have expanded their church building with a kitchen and children's wing, and are hoping to soon plant a church in the nearby community. This is their Sunday school teacher, Cristino. Every week, he teaches the children about Jesus, and guess what? He himself graduated from the boarding school in Cocaibo. What a powerful testimony.
Well, one of the things that we were very excited about when we went down to Ensenada this year was that we were able to go back and visit our friends at the Oasis Ranch, where Pastor Juan and Rossi minister to young men who feel all but alone in the world. And what always amazes us when we visit these boys are the stories that they share. Stories about heartache and abandonment, and even anger and loneliness that they feel. And we hear stories about violence in their past, stories of prison, abuse, yet they seem to be so remade. There's no other way I can say that. That's the word that kind of captures it. They seem like they've been remade. It's as if their stories of the past are someone else's story. Speaking with Jacob this year, who actually spoke both in English and in Spanish, it was pretty amazing, because he grew up in Anaheim, we were surprised to hear as he would share with our group the tendency that he used to have of violence towards his mother. And when standing in front of us, he seemed like this small, kind, caring boy who continually went out of his way to see if he could help and even led us in prayer at one point. One of the other amazing people we met while we were in Ensenada this year, and we were able to do ministry with, was a woman named Mirna, and she has a ministry called Mirna's Table. She is a woman of deep faith and love and warmth. She has taken in 10 orphans who live with her, but that wasn't enough for her. She also daily teaches and feeds kids in the neighborhood whose parents are working out in the fields during the day. And she offers them a safe place to learn about the love of God, but also to learn to read and write, lead worship, and actually, as we heard, preach the gospel and do so rather boldly. We spent the afternoon with Mirna hearing her own story. She's a woman of deep trust who at one point had to sell everything that belonged to her so she could pay the ransom on her kidnapped grandson. And afterward, believing that she heard from God that she would continue her ministry even though she now had nothing, God soon proved himself faithful. And through tears, she explained how she received her old house back for free, her old vehicle back, and was able to continue ministering to the children in the neighborhood within a very short time. And she cried as she told us all about her love for the kids, her trust in God who had provided for her needs. And so we as a group are very excited. We're looking forward to continuing to partner with her and to the impoverished kids of Ensenada.